Okay, so we are actually on day 3. Can you believe it? Day 3 of cleaning the museum. And like I said before, we do take our time. We don't rush. We pull things out. We put things back. We dust. We sweep. We mop. We haven't gotten to the mopping stage yet. We do an initial sweep. And then we vacuum up the big dust because you get big clumps of dust no matter what.
You know, and that's actually a really important point. Don't rush. Don't feel like, oh man, I gotta hurry up and get this done, man. And yeah, you're just gonna overwhelm yourself and you're gonna get upset.
Just do it bit by bit. Like, we have a plan when we do deep cleaning. Like I say, first we start off with the initial sweep of the floor. Just sweep up the floor. And then first
top to bottom.
Well, first we pick the stuff up off of the floor. Then we sweep the floor, and then we start dusting from top to bottom.
Yeah.
And moving things around, picking up each piece, dusting it off, wiping things down, rearranging. And the very last thing we do is sweep again and mop. We also take the vacuum cleaner and we get up in the cracks and crevices, because you're always going to have a spider that makes a web.
Yeah, I know.
You can't get past the spider. It's like, God dang.
Well, better a spider than anything else.
I know, than a rat's nest.
Oh, no.
But anyway, we're actually here to talk about something that came up at work.
Okay.
Because, you know, at work, when Monday come, they always ask you, what did you do this weekend? So a couple of months ago, one of my employees asked, hey, what you do this weekend? And I think I said I went to a show. And he was like, well, what is that? And I was like, a toy show. And he asked me what that was, what that meant. And I was like, me and my husband went to a toy show, vintage toys with, you know, Transformers and G.I. Joe and different things. Okay. We buy and collect toys. And, you know, he was like, okay. And then, like, almost every week, he said, hey, did you go to another show? And I was like, I went to a comic book show, or we went to a record show or whatever. So Monday, he was like, you went to any good shows? And I was like, no, this weekend we didn't do anything. He was like, well, I want to set up for my man cave. I want to buy all vintage stuff.
Here we go.
And I want some big toys for my... And then he did, you know, the hand gesture of big. And I'm like...
what does that mean?
Yeah, and that's what I said. And he was like, yeah, I want some toys about this big. And I'm like, nah, you ain't not going to really get an action figure that big. You might get a statue. And then, you know...
Well, they got big stuff. I mean, like, there's a King Kong for you. You can,
yeah, you do have that. And you got, like, these Godzillas and these Mazingers and stuff. Yeah. And he was like, I just want random vintage stuff.
I see.
And he was like, where do I start? And I was like, well, it might be a good idea, since you want random stuff and you want vintage stuff, you can go to an antique mall, just walk around and look. Go to a toy show, walk around, see what's what, see what piques your interest. You know, think about, what do you like music? You might want to get a record player, some records. And all he kept saying is, I want random stuff. I was like, yeah, you want random, but you want it to look purposeful.
Give me some money. I'll buy it for you.
I'll hook you up now. I can get you some random, nice, purposeful looking stuff.
Sure.
But, you know, those were my suggestions. So the question I'm throwing out at David.
Okay.
For a person that wants to collect, but don't know where to start.
Oh, no.
Do you have any suggestions?
Oh, my. Well, your suggestion's not a bad one, to go and look around at an antique mall, because you never know what you're going to see. I would be cautious with that is about impulse buying. Yeah. Antique malls are often quite considerably overpriced. We've had some luck in them. We have had some luck in them where you're like, wow, that's priced wrong. Like this, you remember this? This came from an antique mall.
Oh yeah.
And it was incredibly cheap. And I was like, there's no way. But yeah, that was the price. And so now I have it. So you never know. But absolutely check your prices. If you do go to an antique mall, that could be good for inspiration. Look around at some flea markets. You know, see if anything catches your eye. You're not going to find too much vintage toys and stuff there, but you never know. I mean, sometimes you get an old record player, an old TV set,
Yeah.
something like that. Or like you never like this. Actually, I just put this under here too.
Now he did know he wanted some old signs.
Okay.
He did know that.
Well, you can get
Get them signs.
Old signs can be expensive, but they do have a lot of them have been reproduced.
Yeah, like you go to Hobby Lobby and get that.
Oh yeah, so
They got a ton.
That's not too hard. You know, Facebook Marketplace, just see what's there, but do check your pricing. You know, go to eBay completed auctions and see what it should go for, unless it's something that's so rare you won't find it.
Yeah.
Go to shows if he's interested in comics, if he's interested in toys, whatever. Go to a toy show and you don't even have to buy anything. Just look around and get a feel for it.
Yeah.
Go to a comic show and look around and get a feel for it and see what strikes you, what hits a nerve, because it's ultimately about the nostalgia of it. You know what era is he even from? Is he a 90s kid, an 80s kid, a 70s
90s kid, because he's in his early 30s.
So then, if he goes to a show, Toy Biz stuff might catch his eye, or Playmates might catch his eye. The Playmates and Toy Biz were on top of the market in the 90s. They produced a lot of stuff, and so he might see things. He might see the old Toy Biz Fantastic Four or Spider-Man figures, or he might see Playmates Earthworm Jim or something and be like, oh crap, I remember that. What video game system did he have in the 90s? If he was a 90s kid, did he have a home system? Maybe that's a place to start. Maybe he could find a home system and set it up with a TV. If people often want to throw away cathode ray televisions.
We got one for free.
We did. We got a big floor model sitting in the garage right now, waiting for a spot. It is, and it works. Most of that old solid state stuff works pretty good, surprisingly. Maybe he can find an old TV, because they still had those big monster cathode ray sets in the 90s, and that might be nostalgic. He could find it real cheap on Facebook Marketplace or someplace, probably giving it away. Come and take this. Yeah. That's how we got ours.
That's how we got ours, at a yard or an estate sale.
Yeah.
And they had a big free sticker, and the woman was like, y'all want that?
Yeah, it's free.
It worked. We plugged it up and everything while we were there. It came on, and it had an antenna. You could tell it was trying to reach something.
Yeah. It's trying to reach them spirits.
Yeah. Those aliens out there.
Yeah, I know. They're trying to reach us through analog television, but nobody has them anymore. But, maybe he played with he might have had a Sega Genesis, because that was hot in the early 90s, or something like that. Maybe he had a GameCube, and he could look for something like that. There's some expensive cartridges, but there's a lot that are not.
Yeah, but then if all you want is something to display, it might not matter to you if it works or not.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
That's true. It'd be nice. I mean, I would want it to work.
Yeah, I would want it to work. But some people are more concerned with the aesthetics of it than the playability.
Yeah.
And also, another thing, I thought about it when I was talking to him, but I didn't say it, and now I'm thinking about it again.
Okay.
You can scour YouTube, and because I saw a video of a guy in his toy room or man cave, and he had a lot of random stuff that was purposefully done, and it looked really good. I mean, he didn't have like full-on collections like what we had. He had like a couple of pieces of these toys. He had a couple of lunch boxes, a couple of this, a couple of that, like a Walkman here, a tape there. And he had it like on the wall. He had some bigger pieces on the floor, on a floor display type thing, but it looked really good. because
Yeah.
it was random stuff from the 80s and 90s just kind of spewing around, but it was spewing around
with purpose.
with purpose.
Yeah, like, you know, you can collage things together.
Yeah,
that
kind of like
don't quite go together, but you can make it work.
Yeah, they fit a theme.
Yeah, or like right down here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Weebles and the product people and the Snoopy and everything. You can blend it together, even though they're not from the same system.
Yeah.
But or another thing too, I mean, he could go to thrift stores. They don't often, and they could be overpriced too. You got to be
And
careful
half
in
the
thrift
stuff
stores.
in it broke anyway, and they still want
but there might
top dollar.
There might be a piece of this or a piece of that that catches your eye.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, that's what I would do. Also, I would be leery of taking other people's advice because they're going to tell you to get what they would want to see.
Yeah, that's true.
They'll tell you what they would like or they would want. And you may go with that. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. And then you get it and you set it up and you're like, I don't know if I like this because that was their nostalgia, not yours.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
you gotta watch out for that.
Yeah, and whatever you do, if it's if you just jumping into collecting, take your time. You don't need to buy it today.
Yeah.
Look around, get a feel, you know, for what you even want. What do you even want to collect?
Yeah.
You know, so that's big.
There's a lot to consider there. But yeah, and just slow down. Slow down, take your time, like you said. Try to focus. It sounds like he doesn't know what he wants.
No, he just know I got a man cave. I got a space. I'm going to call it a man cave. And I want stuff in it.
Yeah.
Basically. And that's fine.
Yeah, of course. And hopefully he'll figure it out. But yeah, that's the general idea. Take your time, price check, go to some different shows, go to some different places or antique mall or whatever, and just look and see what catches your eye. Try to think about what from your childhood you enjoyed doing. That's why I brought up the video games. A lot of people had a console back in the day. And take it from there. Bit by bit.
Bit by bit.